must be found. On these plains, there's a demon that sleeps. It must be unbound. You're up on the borders wearing missiles burn in the arms of man. You're running with bodies and they scream to bite God's hand. So face it dark and I'll teach you about fire in the blink of an eye. The ones collide and you know it's pure fear that I hide. So face it dark and I'll teach you about fire in the blink of an eye. The ones collide and you know it's pure fear that I hide.
G'day, it's Clay from Tengtool. We all know when you're out on the road, your four-wheel drive is likely to break down when you least want it to. And you know you can't carry your workshop with you everywhere you go. So why not take a workshop in a box? You should look for a good toolkit to carry with you in your four-wheel drive at all times. A good off-road kit requires the following things. A 1/2-inch drive socket set that runs all the way up to 32mm. 32mm allows you to do pinion nuts and also do your steering and suspension. You need a good set of pliers with a soft handle but a tough end. You need a long nose, a water pump plier, a pair of side cutters and a combination plier. Screwdrivers are very important. A screwdriver set should have blade and Phillips. It requires a soft grip handle that imparts a lot of torque. A 2-part resin handle that gets sticky when you pick it up with dirty or oily hands is also a handy convenience. A complete set of combination spanners with ring and open at one end, offset 15 degrees and flank drive at the ring end is also a handy tool out on the track. It doesn't round nuts off and it's also good at getting rid of nuts that are already rounded off. You want your portable toolkit to last, so look for a sturdy case, one made of ABS plastic. Look for one with recess handles, metal latches, a steel pin at the back and rubber feet at the bottom that don't mark or scratch. Remember, this toolkit's going to bounce around in the back of your four-wheel drive with a lot of your other equipment, so you do want one with a warranty. Always make sure that the tools you use are as tough as the track that you drive on. G'day viewers, I'm Clay Briley from Tengtool Australia. When you own a four-wheel drive, you know you're going to do a lot of work on it, and the easiest way to do easy work on your four-wheel drive is to own your own toolkit. Now the best toolkit you should buy is an ISO standard trade quality lifetime warranty toolkit. So when you're out and you're doing a bit of work, you know the tools are going to do the job and they're not going to fail on you. The first thing you should look for is a solid toolkit. 8 gauge, 3-step ball bearing slide system so that the drawer comes all the way out and you can get to the tools at the back is very important. Also what you should be looking for is a modular toolkit where every tool has its place. When you look, you should immediately know where the tool is that you need to do the job. When you finish your job, you should be able to run your eye over it and see if there's a tool missing. Versatility of tools is also very important. All of your tools should be able to be turned into something else. These extension bars, for example, turn into a very handy wobble extension kit. With just a couple of clicks, away you go. You've got a very long extension bar with a T-handle on it and a wobble on the end so that you can get to those hard to reach spots. Your ratchet should be minimum 45 teeth. You need that so that when you're in a confined space, you don't have to move the tool too far to pick up the next two. They should be a flip reverse so that you can change directions easily, and a quick release so that you can get the socket on and off easily. All of your sockets, you should be looking for a thin wall so that you can get around anything that you're working on. And you should also be looking for flank drive. Flank drive is a thing in sockets so that when you're working on a nut, it doesn't work on the apex of the nut and it drives on the flat. It's very good at getting off nuts that are rounded off already, and it won't round off your nuts. So flank drive is very important. Torque wrenches. Lots of things today need to be torqued, including your wheel nuts, particularly if you've got ABS. Also, torque wrenches nowadays all have angular gauges in the head. Most of the tightening that you will see now will tell you X amount of Newton meters, and then they will tell you amount of degrees that you have to go forward or backwards to apply the correct torque. So always look for a torque wrench that has an angular gauge in the head. A good screwdriver you should look for is a fully tanged screwdriver. That is where the shaft goes through the handle, forms a percussion cap, and you're able to strike it with a hammer. Very handy out on the road, very handy for getting screws that are already stuck. T-handled hex drivers. You can get a lot more purchase on what you're trying to undo or do up. Particularly look for a wobble end if you can, which will give you a 15-degree entry angle if you can't get straight on to the fastener that you're trying to undo or tighten. These days, ratchet ring spanners are very common. They allow you to work in confined spaces without having to pick the ratchet head up and put it back down against once you've placed it. Again, look for a flip reverse with an offset angle. This clears your fingers off of the deck that you're working on and allows you to change direction without having to take the tool up and flip the head over. Finally, cordless. Everybody loves it. A powerful 19.2 volt cordless impact gun is extremely handy. You don't need air to run it and you don't need a power cord. Charge it up with a rapid charger and you're ready to go. Always remember when you use impact to use a pin and a ring to secure the impact socket to the impact tool so that it doesn't fly off when you're working. Always remember to keep your tools clean, use the right tool for the job, and always work safe.